So what if the process was more powerful than the prize? What if the breakdown was more impactful than the breakthrough? What if the depression was more important than the joy? The point I'm trying to make here is that often we, find that the thing that we want is unobtainable. And we are often pissed off because we don't have what we want. But yet feel in certain ways that the things that we want, we can't get. But here's the thing, if you've ever had a really bad time in your life, something that's went wrong, something that's went bad, you will know at the other side of that, once you've recovered and you've went through the process of pain, grief, depression, hurt, whatever, that you needed that in your life in order to get to where you are now. And you wouldn't be in the strong position that you are now without that pain and that hurt. Now, regardless of where you're at, everything in life is happening for you, not to you. See, the moment we start to think, well, why did this have to happen to me? And it always goes this way, and we complain and we moan and we play the victim, often we can be so engrossed in that behavior and so used to it, because what happens when we act like that is that other people give us sympathy and other people agree with us. And we have a moan and a complaint about the state of society or the state of the government or the fact that you're hard done by, whatever it may be, and people will agree with you and they'll give you sympathy. They'll say, yeah, you're right. And we have this incessant need to be right, to prove ourselves right, at the expense of actually feeling at peace. So, these hard times, they haven't come to stay, they've come to pass. But we spend so much time playing the victim and going over these situations in our head that months, years later, we're still losing our personal sense of power by replaying the situation and thinking that it's always somebody else's fault. But the fact is, it might not be your fault that you're struggling. It might not be your fault that you were left in a situation where you felt helpless, powerless, that you felt victimized, right? It might not be your fault. But you know something? It's your fucking responsibility. And I don't mean to sound harsh when I say that. I mean it's your responsibility to step up. It's your responsibility to get the help you need, get the advice, support, guidance that you need, to do the things that help you move forward. Because it's easy to sit and wallow in your own self-pity and say that you're hard done by. And hey, guess what? You might be. But that's not solving the problem that you have. And sometimes when you're starting to have more of a positive outlook and you're doing things to look after your mental health, your physical body, maybe you want to stop drinking so much, you want to stop hanging around with negative people, what you'll get often is a disconnect. You'll get people saying, you've changed, you are better that way. What you do, you're different now. And you want to make a change, and what they'll try and do is drag you back to your old ways so that they feel more comfortable around you. So you will live your life uncomfortable to make others feel fucking comfortable. And this is leading to a lot of unnecessary suffering. Because we don't live the life that we want to live. We live the life we believe we should live. And we're scared to step out of our, I guess you could say, comfort zone. Right? So we play the victim, so we complain, we moan, and we get sympathy and we get people agreeing with us. And therefore we feel connected, we feel associated. But if we want to step out of that frame and say, you know what, I'm responsible now. It's time I fucking stepped up. It's time I stopped the bullshit. It's time I stopped drinking so much. It's time I stopped pissing around with people who just don't really matter anymore. It's time I stopped taking the drugs, smoking the weed. It's time I stopped fucking about in certain areas of my life. It's time that I stepped up for me, for my family, for the people that I love, for my kids if you've got them. It's time that I took responsibility. And when you do that, you regain a certain sense of empowerment to say, it's my time now. It's up to me. Nobody else can dictate how my life's going to go. It's up to me. I make the fucking choices. I make the fucking decisions. The big question that I like to ask is that the best you can do? I mean, truly, is that the best you can do. Because often if we were to look inward and if we were to really look in the mirror and say, is that the best I can do? We probably would say, actually, I can probably do a bit better. And you know what? If it's not the best you can do, that's okay. But you got to think, how can I do better? Because now's the time to fucking step up. Stop stepping aside just for other people's convenience. Start stepping up to live the life that you want to fucking live, because, my mate, you fucking deserve it.